morning we'll be taking a look at the whole attitude of prayer. The whole atmosphere that we ought to have as we go to God. And how we ought to go to Him. So it is important that as we go to God, that we go to Him knowing that, yes, that God knows what I want. God knows what I want. Now this is what the verse tells us, verse 8, that our Father knows what we need before we ask Him. And therefore that as we go to Him, we should not focus our prayers, use big words, try to impress God, because He knows what you want. As we go to God, let us go to God with a humble heart. Let us go to God with a sincere heart. This is how our hearts ought to be. Humble, sincere. And most importantly, as we go to God, let us not think that we can say anything that will cause God to change His mind. Let us not think that we can say anything, that we can do anything that will cause our petition to be granted. Say that, okay, God, this is what I want, therefore, this is how I'm going to go to you, this is what I'm going to say, and when I say these things, when I do these things, yes, my prayer is surely answered. That is not how God operates. And therefore, we ought not to try to do something or say something that say that, oh yes, right? God, my prayer is sure to answer today because I said these things, because I did these things. No. We ought to go to God with a humble and a sincere heart. Nothing that we can say or do can cause God to change His mind. And let us remember that God knows what we want before we come to Him. And He will answer our prayers according to His will. You know, Jesus' disciples came in and said, Lord, teach us how to pray. And so Jesus taught them how they ought to pray from verse 9 going down. In verse 10, Jesus said, Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. This is the attitude that we ought to have. Saying, God, your will be done. Not my will, but thy will be done. Not only on earth, not only throughout the earth, but also throughout my life. Saying, God, your will be done in my life. But we have to humble ourselves as we go to God. Let us not go to God with a proud heart, but with a humble heart. We are told in the book of James, James chapter 5, verse 16. Confess your faults one to another, and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. This last verse, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Yes, But you see, as we pray, we have to remember that it is the will of God that will take place. The will of God for your life and for my life. That is what will happen. We might be living for God all the days of our life. And as this verse says, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. However, if it is not the will of God that what we are praying about happen, it will not happen. We remember Paul. Paul had a thorn in his head, and he went to God. And he went to God, saying, God, save me. But Paul, he came to the realization that it is the will of God for his life that will happen. When we pray, let us go to God with a humble heart. Let us go to God with a sincere heart, knowing that we cannot do anything. We cannot say anything to change God's mind. When we go to God, let us remember that He knows what we want before we even go to Him. He knows what is best for you and I. When we go to God, and it's not that if we go to God, but when we go to Him, remember that His will be done. And this is what we ought to go to Him with. This is the attitude that we ought to go to Him with. Knowing that His will be done. Knowing that God knows what we want before we come to Him. And when you go to God, do not buff up or prayer. Pray with a sincere heart. Pray with a humble heart.